Hi, this is my second video. So my first one I think was pretty good. I think it explained things fairly well, but going through it, not every single window I looked at was was showing. So like if I gave Tracker a command and it popped up another window, the original Tracker window was still visible to you, but everything else was not. So I think I found a solution to that. What I do is I'm going to share an entire desktop, right? I have two monitors here as I record this. And instead of just what I did before was I focused on the Tracker window, but instead I'm going to focus on this whole other monitor. I think I've cleared off everything else. So let me go through, I'm going to go through a lot of the same steps as before for doing the data analysis here. You see, okay, it is loading the video. Okay, don't show this again. All right, so as long as I keep everything on this desktop, you should be able to see things a little bit better. Let me take a look here. Let's see, I'm gonna find a good starting point. That looks like an excellent frame. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna go through the steps, but hopefully you can see things a little bit better this time. So I shift click there and there to set the scale. So that part's done. Then you say new point mass. I hope this video is much shorter than the last one, but I do shift and shift click. That barely moved. Let's see how this goes. These are the exact same steps I did in the other video. And this part should look completely the same, but I haven't done analysis yet. And I hope if I'm sharing the right desktop that you will be able to see everything effectively. Okay. It's a slight mess, of course, very a little blurry, but it's funny that the mask gets more and more in focus the slower it's going, which I guess makes sense to me. That's crystal clear. Okay, great. All right, so I think that's largely what I had before. And if I click on the pink coordinates there, I do the usual thing where actually I can go back without losing any of my work. Let me do that just to verify where the lowest spot is. That's where it is roughly. And then I'm going to do the thing I did before where I tilt the coordinates 90 degrees that way. And yeah, so again, you can see X position, Y position. Now the Y position is vertical like this. Well, it's horizontal on the video, but Y is this left-right direction now, and X is this up-down direction now. And if I go click on table, I can add the velocity in meters per second. This is effectively just speed. So we can see again in the middle here where the speed is the fastest. And this is the part that I was afraid didn't show up that well. So you have to go to this mass A and you say define. And this appears in my other browser, or my other screen, but I'll move it here. If I double click on that and say G enter, if I double click this cell to enter a value, say 9.8. So normally you double click the cells to edit. Now I also have to tell the program what the correct mass is, so that should be it. And then there are two functions that we need to add. There is UG, which is potential energy. And I remember like this screen, oops, remember this screen popping up in my old video, but here you can do M times G times Y. The Y and the V look very similar. It's very suspicious, but there we go. There's this. And this function I'm going to call tot E, and that is K plus UG, like this. So, I mean, you can type these yourself, but I mean, for the already defined functions, it's easier just to click on it because it's very case sensitive and very picky. So you close that. Now you go to plot, make that 3. So it's this plot menu. Then you can make 1, oops, kinetic, 1 potential, and the last one total energy, like this. The x-axis is time for all 3 of these graphs. So you've got a very good data table here with things like heights, that's this y column, speeds, which is this v column. And this is the other part I don't think showed up that well. If you right click and say analyze in the white space of each of the graphs, okay, you can't see it right now, but these are being compiled on a graph on my other monitor. Wasn't able to bring that to you before, but here it is. So I'm going to drag it on the same screen. And there you can see all 3 graphs in one. And this is usually what I have people screenshot for me, either using Command-Shift-4 to drag and select a cropped bit for Mac, or there's something like a snipping tool that can be used on versions of Windows. And something else that I was showing in the last video was if you double click one of these style icons, you can change the colors. So I can make, so I can make like total energy, I can turn it blue, and kinetic energy you can change to something else. Make it green or something like that. Okay. So here the 3 graphs are distinct, and you can see the potential energy go down and back up, the kinetic energy go up and back down, and the total energy is supposed to stay flat. Mine obviously was not, but I described in the other video what my issues were with that. So hopefully the visibility here is a little bit better on all of the things that you're going to have to do in Tracker for this. And that's all I have.